All right, beauties and gents, we are back. Rise of the Kings podcast, episode 11. Man, I'm bringing you a special guest today. We got a staple in the New Orleans hip hop community. We got my boy Wes Beez. Wes, go ahead and introduce yourselves. Tell them about your past. Tell them about the things you've worked on and just who you are in general.
What's up, y'all? I appreciate Tone for having me on the podcast, man. My name is Wes Beez, Wesbeez. You know what I mean? Just like Beezy, like if you were saying Weezy, just without the Y. Um, I am I think, what is this? This is a 10 or 11 year vet in the New Orleans hip hop community. I started off, I was introduced to the scene around about 2008. By 2010, I was hosting shows. I've been around a lot of I don't want to say old school, but if you talk to anybody from like 2010, between like 2009 and probably up to 2013, 2014, 2015, maybe a little beyond that. If you know anybody in that time frame, chances are you might know me, third degree of separation. I've been in and out of the music scene for a good bit. Like I said, I hosted shows. I've hosted my own show. I hosted the Sound Clash producer showcase for a couple of years. Shout out to L and Lyric Kill and True Universal and everybody that's responsible for putting that together. I performed on damn near every stage in the city, with the exception of maybe probably the main stage at the House of Blues. I've done just about every other stage in the city. Outside of that, man, I'm an introvert, Cancer. Try to be honest and as genuine as I can. If you want to get like super personal, I'm like the only biological child out of my family. My favorite number is 2, and it's ironic that I'm on podcast number 11, which is basically 2-1. So kudos for that. Yeah, man. I'm involved in growing in the Black side of the kink community. Meeting with different people from all walks of life, who are, for lack of a better description, in like that white people foolishness, that white people stuff. So hopefully we'll be able to talk about some of that, man. But that's it, man. If you don't want to call me Wes Beez, listen, just call me Wes. Just stick to Wes. I'm gonna always be Wes, and that's it.
Man, thank you for that, bro. You brought up 2 names that I would like for you to like talk a little bit more about, because these guys are very influential in the community. You said you've done shows with L and Truth Universal. What do they mean to the New Orleans hip hop community?
Whew. All right, so there is a lot that would not be happening right now if it was not for Truth Universal. Um, Truth Universal started the show Grassroots, which was how I was introduced. Grassroots was a monthly event. I think it might have been every Saturday, but I know for sure it was monthly. Um, it was a every, if not, like I said, I can't, the details escape me because there were so many of them that I went to. But Truth had one of the underground initial, like if you were coming up in the city, it was known at that time that you had to go and hit Grassroots. Almost no other show really mattered for like the start of your career until you hit Grassroots. So a lot of stuff that's happening now probably would not be happening had Grassroots not been there and not laid the foundation for us to continue doing this, even up to where we are now. When it comes to L Williams, a lot of people know as one of the creators of the Sound Clash event. So the Sound Clash was New Orleans producer and hip hop showcase. We had producer beat battles. Producers would come through and like legit play beats. I'm gonna pause and tell you a quick story. So a lot of people know about this guy named S80. He made a song with Wayne. He also made a song and it blew up. You dig? S80 was used to be in the producer beat battles. But even back then, My man's had his foot in the door. Like, I remember this one story in particular, and I'm gonna jump back into what I was saying. S80 came to the beat battle. He got to a point where that brother was like, I'm all out of beats. I don't know what else to play. So he started playing us juvenile songs and songs that he had with T-Pain on them in the battle. And we all looking like, bro, you cheating, fam. You won. You won already. You cheating. Like, you already got Juvie on the record. You know what I mean? But this is just, and this nigga just getting up there. I'm probably not supposed to play this for y'all, but doop, my God, you cheating. But yeah, man, and let me go ahead and throw Lyric Hill in that as well. So True Universal, Lyric Hill, L. Williams. Matter of fact, let me throw their whole collective together. If I DJ Def D, and Larry Legault. Those 5 guys, 2 of them kind of being the background guys, are really laid the foundation for the New Orleans hip hop scene from, I found out about grassroots in, I think, 2008. So from 2008 to maybe 2012, those were the guys that had grassroots going and sound clash going. And they are legit responsible for me and so many other people. Like, there's a couple of people that look at me and call me an OG that's still doing the things now, because we were, you know what I'm saying, when they were coming in, I was already there with the crew. So but yeah, it has to be all of those. It has to be True Universal, Lyric Hill, DJ Def D, who was the DJ for Sound Clash, Larry Legault, who was the photographer for everything, and L Williams. So big shout out, huge shout out to all of those guys.
Big shout. I literally I ran into L, bro, it was like 6 days ago. Like, I was just like out and about and just ran into him, just gave him a big ass hug. Like you're absolutely right. Like, these cats literally paved the way for so many people. Like, I got on my biggest stages because of L. Williams. Like, I was able to,
right.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I was just learning. I wasn't even that hot of an artist at that point. Like, I think I'm dope now, but at the time, like, I wasn't even that dope.
Right.
And L was like, I see your passion, so I'm gonna put you on this stage. And he put me on some big ass stages. And he put a lot of people on some big ass stages. So that's gonna segue into the next question is, what does it mean to you to be a part of this New Orleans artist community? Because for me, I'm not from here. I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota. But I came down here and I got grandfathered into the situation. But I grew up on all New Orleans music, right? Like, I used to have to walk to go to one store to get the fucking No Limit albums and shit like that. Like, I'm talking 99, like early 90s. You know what I mean?
Right.
So to come down here and then meet these cats who are like, okay, we gonna put you on these stages to help you blossom. And then I'm meeting Mia X, I'm meeting Fiend, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God, you don't know how many bus trips, like you don't know what this meant to me, being this kid from Minnesota. and then to come here and then just to be put into this, like, bro, like, I feel like, as corny as it sounds, like, I feel like, honestly, I could die tomorrow and I could feel like I have such a legacy to say just from being a part of this community.
Yeah.
So give me what does it feel like to be a part of this community for you to be an OG in this community?
Man, I truly feel like I helped build a lot, because I came in, and just like you mentioned, you got grandfather. I came in, I got introduced to everything because me and my homeboy, just dude I went to school with, J Double. J Double was a part of this group called Tiger Woods. Me and Double went to high school together. We graduated together. So at some point, I was working on the album. I figured out where he worked, and I said, "All right, bro, listen, I'm working on the album right now. Do you still rap?" And he was like, "Yeah." I said, "Cool. When I find a song, I want you on the song." Didn't take no time. Brought the record to him. He wrote his part. He came by my house because I had a studio at the crib at the time, and recorded it. And then he was like, "I'm gonna introduce you to all of these people." This is 2008. So he introduced me to Truth and to L and all of these people. In 2010, I had my own show. in 2010, I was hosting a show at Cafe Britannia. I was probably the first I think because, and nobody else has been able to prove me wrong, I may have been the only person to ever host a monthly hip hop show at Cafe Britannia. For those of you that don't know what Cafe Britannia is, when you come to the city, it is, for lack of a better description, it's on Britannia. It's literally directly across the street from a hospital. Like you could throw a rock from the hospital and hit this bar. And for whatever reason, they just didn't have monthly hip hop shows. I guess it just wasn't a big enough draw. But I was able to keep, at least for a year, because I tried to negotiate to go into the next year and they were just like, nah. But I came in 08, 2010, I had a show. 2013, I was hosting Sound Clash because Elle was like, hey, I need somebody to host. You a great host. Let's roll. So for a lot of people for me to be a part of laying the foundation and laying the groundwork for other people, like there's people that didn't know that I rap, know me from hosting Sound Clash, just knowing the name, or I used to have this big wooden bee that I would wear around my chest. And so it's just being a part of that is a really, really great feeling. Like, you know what I mean? It's a couple dudes right now that had it not been for me and everybody else around the time when we were doing everything that we were doing, I mean, cats might not be here. Niggas really might not be here. There might not be a scene, regardless to whatever the scene is right now. It may not be whatever it is had we not done what we did back then.
And bro, what I realized through all this, man, no matter what, we brushed arms with greatness. And honestly, like, to be real with you, is we may have even kind of, helped greatness get to where they are. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
We come, like, bruh, Tank and the Bangers. Bro, you talk about Y. Luck. Yep. You talk about Dapper. You know what I mean? What's the other dude that was a part of the rap pack? What's the other dude's name that with Rock Nation?
I don't know what his name is now, but it used to be Don Flamingo.
Yeah. Don Flamingo. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was a show. He used to go by the show.
The show. That's when I met him. Bro, we have brushed arms with greatness, just even being in it. Like cats that are signed now, that are like doing national tours, that are major label deals. Like this shit is like crazy. And like, it literally takes my home. Sorry, go ahead.
D1.
3D
Nit.
Sonny Patterson.
Patterson. Yeah.
Because I come from the spoken word. I come from the spoken word section.
Right. I'm gonna just go ahead and throw my partner out there. Shit, Alfred Banks. You dig?
Oh,
my man's is out here.
I'm sorry. I did not forget you, Alfred Banks.
My man's is out here doing a Volkswagen commercial. He like, come on, man. That's
Alfred Banks is one of the he's a special person. Like,
love my guy.
I met him. We were doing we did a festival together. And then like we just always would see each other around the city and everything like that. And then like there was one time I was doing some rhyming outside of like in a French Quarter. I was doing some rhyming in the French Quarter. He was in a store doing some shopping, and all I heard was Tony. And I looked back, it was Alfred Banks. He said, "I thought I heard your voice."
Yeah, that's my man's, man. Like
there's some real heavy hitters, bro.
Himself, like he used to be. I mean, Alfred used to walk, dog. Like he'll tell you himself. Alfred used to walk 4, 5, 10 miles to come to Grassroots, to come to Sound Clash, to go to whatever for one song. This man used to walk and he would just hope that somebody after the show would bring him home. But to get there, this man I walked 3 miles in the snow to get to school. This was Alfred coming to rap. You dig? That's me and Alfred and I was his hype man for a really long ass time. So if he had a show, I was there. And it wasn't about me, it was all about putting on his product. And yeah, man, Alfred is Alfred is dope.
Yeah, Alfred's the man. And you know what I love about him, man? His grind has always been so methodical. But it's always just been from the grassroots. Everything he got at this point is what he earned and what he deserves. You know what I mean?
Yep, exactly, exactly. No pun on grassroots, but full fledged acknowledgement.